Okay. So yesterday you were asked to do these problems, and what I wanted, we left off kind of with saying, hey, 3x plus 12 could equal 0. Okay, a real quick reminder, when you're dealing with absolute value, a couple things about your solutions. If you have an absolute value all alone on one side and it equals a positive, you're going to have two solutions. If you get an absolute value and it equals a negative, you're going to have 0 solutions. And if you get an absolute value and it equals 0, you will have 1 solution. Okay? Because this is saying what numbers are a certain positive distance from 0. And so if I said like 3 in here, well, 3 and negative 3 are 3 units from 0. This is saying what number is a negative distance from 0. Okay? And that can't be possible. Here we're saying what number is 0 units from 0. And that would be 0. Okay? So on this one, if I'm going 3x plus 12 equals 0, because the inside of this has to equal that. Okay, we go through and solve. We end up with 3x plus, I'm going to do it down here so I have a little more room. I subtract my 12 on both sides. 3x equals negative 12 and divide by 3, so x is negative 4. That's the only solution. Okay? So if I put negative 4 on a number line, it's right there. If I put negative 4 into this equation, when I put negative 4 in, I get 3 times negative 4, which is 12, or excuse me, negative 12, and negative 12 plus 12 is 0, and that's what we want. Okay? So that is our solution then. When you take a look at number 2, we approach it kind of the same way. We look at it and go, okay, is my absolute value alone on the side of an equal sign? Yeah. Okay. If it's alone, then you look at it and go, does my absolute value equal positive, negative, or 0? Equals a positive. So how many answers? 2 solutions. So we have to set up our positive case, which says whatever is inside there equals positive 8. And our negative case, which says whatever is inside here equals negative 8. Why? Because the two numbers that are 8 units from 0 on a number line are positive and negative 8. Mr. Cribbs, you either act engaged in here and stay focused, or you leave here. Okay? So this becomes y plus 2, and this becomes y plus 2. All right? We just take whatever's in here. We want whatever's in here to become positive 8 and negative 8. Subtract 2 on both sides. We get y equals negative 10. Subtract 2 here. We get y equals 6. So negative 10, positive 6. Those are our 2 solutions. How many got number 2 correct? Okay, what kind of questions do we have so far? 1 and 2. Okay. Number 3, first step, is the absolute value alone?
No.
What do we need to get rid of, Mac?
Negative 4.
Negative 4 is out here. Okay? They're multiplying by negative 4, so to undo multiplication, you have to divide by that negative 4. And so what happens, these cancel, and then I have 7 minus 6k, and the absolute value of that. And then 14 divided by negative 4 is negative 3.5. My absolute value is alone now. How many solutions? 0, 1, or 2? Yeah, 0. How come 0? Negative. Absolute value cannot equal a negative. No solution. Okay?
But wouldn't it be a solution that there's no solution?
Now we're getting like things that are mind-blowing there. That's crazy.
Well, because that's your answer. No solution.
Oh, that's an answer.
Do you want us to rip these out of the book?
Yeah, if you want to.
But it was a question and now it's solution. Then it's no solution.
We're not going there. All right. Number 4. Is the absolute value alone on one side? Everyone tell your neighbor yes or no.
Yes.
Okay? It is. Tell your neighbor how many solutions. Two solutions because this is positive. So we've got to set up our negative case. Negative case will just have a -3. Positive case will have a +3. The negative case, will this thing change?
Yes.
No. Will this thing change for the positive case? No, it's the exact same thing. You want whatever's in here to become -3 or +3. So you set up that equation and solve. What do I do to each side on this? Yeah, the opposite of dividing is multiply. Multiply both sides by 3. That cancels that. I'm left with D. When I multiply by 3, I get? -9. Here, multiply both sides by 3. I'm left with D. Equals 9. Oops, equals 9. So our solution is +9 and -9. Two solutions. We could also write that as D equals ±9. Sometimes you even put it in little cool guy squiggly lines, which we call set notation.
When I was checking my answers, like there was a squiggly line. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
what are
Little
those squiggly
squigglies.
lines?
All right, number 5. Is absolute value alone on one side? No, it is not. Okay? Since it is not alone, we need to get it alone on one side. And I'm going to have to do that on a different spot here. Yeah, just staple it to the top, Jay. Okay, so we have 3, 2x plus 5, and plus 10, 37. We can't put 2x and 5 together. So what do I have to do? Subtract 10. We're going to get rid of that 10 first. What other number do we have to get rid of there? The 3. Those are the two things on the outside. We need to move this and this. Okay, they're adding 10, so we subtract 10. Get 3 times 2x plus 5. 27. Then we have to do, they're multiplying by 3, so we divide by 3. The absolute value of 2x plus 5 is 9. How many solutions? 1, 2, or 0? On your fingers, please. 1, 2, or 0? See a mixture here? Okay, can anyone tell me why it would be 2? Yeah. Because this number's positive. Remember, go back to what we started with today. If your absolute value equals a positive, there are 2 solutions. Okay? The only time you get one solution is if it equals 0. Okay? So in this one, my positive case would say 2x plus 5 equals +9. My negative case would say 2x plus 5 equals -9. Then we solve. Subtract 5. 2x equals -14. Divide by 2. X equals -7. Okay? And here, subtract 5. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2.
2x.
X equals 2. So
2 is x.
you guys see the steps?
What if somebody was colorblind?
2 and -7, I am.
Really?
Okay? 2 and -7. Now, what that would mean is if you plug that in, you would find that both of those, or 2, when I put -7 in, -7 times 2 is -14 plus 5 is -9, and the absolute value of -9 is +9. When I put 2 in, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9, absolute value of 9 is 9. Okay, we're not going to go through this.
My dad's red-green colorblind.
Yeah, crazy, right?
What does it mean if you're like...
All right. Hey guys, you pick this up on the way in. I want to go through this. This is kind of picking up pace and adding to what we've been working on. Okay? So, we're going to solve these equations, check our answer. Okay? Stay focused, otherwise it becomes very confusing really fast. Okay, so number 8. Solve the equation, check our answer. Absolute value of x plus 8 equals the absolute value of 2x plus 2. We have 2x plus 1, thank you. We have two absolute values. Okay, so the way you do this is just like you did the other one. So let's pretend there weren't absolute value symbols here. If there weren't, we would just do a positive and negative case, right? Okay, well, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say, okay, whatever's on this side, x plus 8. So this piece, we are going to set equal to the negative value of this. So the negative value of that is written as negative 2x plus 1. So we've got to have the negative value, a negative case, and a positive case.
So we would only get one answer?
No, you're going to have two answers. That's our negative case right here, right? We put the negative out in front of this. Okay, so here's our negative case. Our positive case is going to be x plus 8 is equal to the positive value in here, which is just 2x plus 1. We're not changing the signs. Okay, I want you to go ahead and go through and solve each of those. Find out what x equals. Check it with your partners there. The negative's on the outside of the parentheses. It's like having a negative 1. Just distribute it in. Okay, that'll get rid of those parentheses. What we got? I've got x plus 8 over here still. What do I get over here? Oh, come on, man.
Negative 2 and negative 1.
Negative 2x minus 1. Okay? Combine like terms by collecting our variable on the same side. So if I move these two x's over, I get 3x plus 8 equals negative 1. This becomes 0. Okay, I then have to work at subtracting 8. Where you been? Oh, why you been at lunch?
You made my mistake.
No more. No one else makes that mistake in here. If you make that mistake, you guys are tardy. Not a fun deal. Okay? 3x equals negative 9. We're not doing 3 strikes. I am?
No,
Yes.
you're not.
Yes. Yeah.
No, you're not.
I thought you guys already done the problem.
I already
No.
Some people
I was in the middle of the call.
Okay, next step. Divide by 3. 1x equals negative 3. All right. So this guy right here, what's my first step? Okay, both of you, out, quickly. First step.
You can minus the x.
Subtract x on both sides.
Wait, you can do that? Oh.
Collect your variables on the same side, yeah. Next step.
subtract 1 on both sides.
Subtract 1.
X would equal 7.
That's why I got it wrong.
X equals 7. There we got it.
You were close.
Hey guys, easy enough to check your answers. Just plug them back in. If I put 7 in right here, what's 7 plus 8? 15. Absolute value of 15 is? How far away from 0 is 15?
15.
15. Okay. If I put 7 in here, 2 times 7 is 14 plus 1.
15.
15. Absolute value of 15 is? 15. So 15 equals 15. It's true. You plug negative 3 in. Negative 3 plus 5 is 5. Absolute value of 5 there. And negative 3 here is negative 6 plus 1, which is 5. Or negative 5. Absolute value of negative 5 is 5. We're good. Okay, they're both 5 units from 0. Any questions there? So guys, I want you to take just overall look at this sheet. You have really two different types of absolute value problems we've talked about. Okay? And each one deals with having like last night's, we had to get the absolute value alone on one side. And today, you have to have a side of the equation with the absolute value alone. So if I go through and identify which side the absolute value is alone on, right now, if I'm going through and doing that, saying, well, absolute value is alone over here. Absolute value is alone right here. Absolute value is alone right there. It's alone on both sides on that one. It's alone on both sides on that one. Okay, as long as you have a side where the absolute value is alone, then the other side you do the positive and negative version.
So what about where like they're both alone on both sides?
Then you pick one side to do the positive and negative on. So, what's that?
I meant like I got confused. You said can you repeat what you had just said?
Yeah. So as long as you have an equation where on one side of that equation the absolute value is all by itself, okay. When we have that, that means that the other side you do the positive and negative case of. You do the plus and minus. So like on this one, the 2x plus 5. So over here, I'm going to make this negative 3 in parentheses now, not, right, I'm taking it out. I'm saying negative 3x minus 4 equals 2x plus 5. There's my negative case, because I made the 3 negative. And then my positive case will be 3 times x minus 4 equals 2x plus 5.
So the highlighted ones?
The highlighted part didn't change. Right? Because that's your absolute value. That's where we're saying I'm going to take that and figure out how to make that equal the positive version of this and the negative version of that. Okay? So if I'm really what we did is we stepped away from yesterday's. Remember, yesterday's was a little easier at least. Like when I gave you this problem, y plus 2 is equal to 8, you guys can mentally think, okay, two numbers that are 8 units from 0. That's easy. You can go, well, that's just positive and negative 8. Right? Pretty easy to visualize. But when I look at this one, and I go, hey, guys, what are two numbers that are 3 times the absolute value of x minus 4 units from 0? That is not easy to visualize. Okay? Hand down for a minute. Okay? You can visualize this. It's harder to visualize this. So the reason we go through and we do the easier ones first is so we can find rules that we're following. Here, we did a negative case and a positive case. We took what was in the absolute value and set it equal to the positive version of this side and the negative version of this side. So that's what we're doing here. We're using the same rule. We're taking what's in the absolute value and setting it equal to the positive version and negative version of this side. And you're doing that on all these. So right now, rather than solving this problem, because I believe if you did our assignments earlier this chapter, and you could solve equations, you can solve these. What I'm not sure of is if you can get these in the right setup. So right now, I want you to write out your positive and negative case for number 10 and number 11. Okay? On your own, write out what your two equations are that you're going to solve. Look, number 10, positive case, x plus 6 equals 2x. That's the positive case. Negative case, x plus 6 equals negative 2x. That's the negative case. Now, how many of you can solve those equations? Okay, if you can solve them, then you're done, right? Collect your variables on the same side and then solve for that variable. Okay, number 11, positive and negative case. Write it down. You get 15 seconds if you haven't done so already.
Oh, for number 11?
Yep, for number 11. If you already did it, that's great. All right. Negative case. Quentin, what do you got? Negative case, 11. Good job. Well done, man. Okay. Positive case. Tyler, what do you got? 3x minus 2, and then your voice sounded like a bell. It was awesome. Okay, 3x minus 2 equals what? X. Well done. Good. Very good job. Okay, and then solving from there. Okay, number 12. Go ahead and tell your neighbor what the positive case is going to be and what the negative case is going to be.
Positives on the left, negatives on the right.
No, that's the chair. Yeah, that would be nasty. All right, negative case. All right, Vincent, what do you got for negative case here? Okay, so you have x minus 8 and 2. Can I make that the 2 plus x? I think you said it and you made this the negative, right? And that would have been okay. I'm going to, because we highlighted it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make the other one the negative. You can make, you can make either one the negative part. That's an 8. Sorry. What's wrong, X?
Yeah.
How did I confuse you?
Well, why did you
Why
just,
isn't that focusing?
why would you put a parenthesis over it instead of just making it negative?
Oh, good question. Why? Hey guys, right here, this is just a mess up. When you have two things in there, you've got to put parentheses because the first step is going to distribute that. It's going to make that a plus, right? So if you forget the parentheses, then you have negative x minus 8, whereas it should be negative x plus 8 once you're done distributing.
Or you could do it negative 2, right?
Yeah, if you did it to the other side, you could have made the negative on this side because both of them are in. Okay, positive case, 2 plus x equals x minus 8. Really, the positive case, nothing really changes other than you drop the symbols, right? It's the negative one that messes you up. Okay, so here's where I think I lost some of you, was right here with the parentheses. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Notice on this guy, this is the part that's going to stay the same. Or this part, because right now they're both absolute values. So it doesn't matter. I could actually highlight both pieces, right? So if I say, all right, I'm going to make, well, let's say I make just 5x minus 2 stay the same. In my negative case, I have that. The other side, I have 5x plus 4. But whatever's in here, it's got to become negative. So I've got to multiply the whole thing by negative. Which is then, remember, the reason that we have to get those parentheses, because that's going to become negative 5x when you distribute, and this is going to become negative 4. If you don't put the parentheses, you end up with this. Negative 5x plus 4, which is not that. Two completely different things, right? That's our negative case. Our positive case, 5x minus 2 equals 5x plus 4. Nothing changes other than you drop the symbols. We solve from there.
Doesn't matter what the negative case is on the left or right.
Doesn't matter.
You can do it either one.
Yeah, you can do it either way. I haven't done it every time, but I try to put the negative case on the left just because negative numbers are on the left of the number line. It really doesn't matter. Okay, how many better understand today? Okay, now here's the deal. When you go home tonight and you have your assignment that I'm about to give you, this is not your assignment. I give you your assignment, okay? And you're going to work on it here a little in class. When you go home and you haven't finished it and like your parents go, you got homework? And you're like, no. Or, yeah, I got it, but I'll get it done. Okay? Saturday night, rise one. Finish your homework? No, not yet, but I'll get it done. Sunday rolls around. You got your homework? Oh, dude, I got my homework. Oh, Seahawks are on at 5:30. You can't finish your assignment. But you start working on your assignment, so you're cranking away. It's like noon on Sunday. You start working. You're like, dude, I don't remember any of this stuff. Look, here, I remember we did, like, when I was in class and you're almost in tears. Now, guys, I'm serious because I've been in this scenario at my house. Okay? You're like doing your math. You're like, dude, I understood it when the teacher was going through it. Just so happens, at least my kid's math teacher the last 2 years was me. So it was easier for them because I could help them right there. Okay? Whereas you're at home and you're going, well, when the teacher talked about it, I got it. I got it. Now I just don't remember it. Okay, right there, if you remember that you remembered when you were here, then go to the, like, if you remember, like you're on home on Sunday and you're like, I remember that when I was in class on Friday, I knew how to do this. If you remember that, then on Sunday, you go to the website and you select this video lesson. The one I am talking about right here, right now. The one that we are teaching right now. You'll be able to select it and you could actually re-watch it. And then you're like, oh, dude, I remember now. And then you can do your assignment. You get it? Okay, I made circular references there and kind of confused some of you. But you guys, use the online stuff to help you out. How do you get to the online video lesson?
Go to cab.com.
Cab and then teacher pages. Okay.